The border post as well. This time, the Lebombo border post officials say they're ready for the influx of travelers returning to South Africa as the festive season wraps up. Massive congestion has been reported in recent weeks. Officials were also forced to use manual processing to clear the backlog of travelers going into Mozambique. The Border Management Authority Commissioner, Dr. Masiapato, joins us for more now. Commissioner, more than 1,000 undocumented foreign nationals were intercepted at Groblersdal shortly after Christmas. What does this incident tell us about the scale, but also the timing of illegal crossings during the festive season?
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Nhlanhla. Let's appreciate this opportunity as the Border Management Authority. Yes, indeed, today we are finalizing our exit leg in as far as the festive operational plan is concerned. So from tomorrow, we will definitely be starting the return leg. And of course, we are expecting high volumes. As we exited the people, we are supposed to start receiving them back. Indeed, we did manage to do the interception, obviously working together with our colleagues from the South African National Defence Force at Groblersdal. So in terms of the overall number, from the 10th of December when we started with the festive operations, our total number of interceptions is over 7,000. So it's basically 7,100 plus that we've been able to intercept. And of course, with the highest number being intercepted at Groblersdal Bridge port of entry to Botswana. More interestingly, even in terms of those interceptions, we have a number of the people being intercepted there being Zimbabwean. So we understand that the Zimbabweans are trying to avoid using Bait Bridge, mainly because of the heightened work that we are doing that side, and they try to go to the Western Corridor. But of course, we are also present that side working together with the Defence Force. Hence, we have been able to do that latest interception.
Yeah. Commissioner, the SANDF, very interestingly, has also described this as an unprecedented influx during this period. Were the BMA, but also your partners as well, were you anticipating these high numbers or this magnitude of numbers? And how prepared were you operationally?
No, we are very much prepared, Nhlanhla. We are actually doing all of these, interceptions most of the time. It's just that what basically happened, which is why the colleagues from the Defence Force indicate unprecedented, is on the basis of the people being together at a go. Most of the time, they basically go in groups in a highly, kind of a scattered context. And even in those instances, they will be having facilitators, which we effectively target for the purposes of arresting and not necessarily deporting. And those are the facilitators. But this time around, there was this high number actually that came at a go. And that is why it was basically described as unprecedented. And of course, as I've indicated, the overall number is over 7,000 just in this almost 15 days from the 10th to today. And to that extent, we can indicate that we do expect this kind of numbers, as the people attempt to enter the country illegally. And of course, part of the interceptions included those that were also trying to exit the country illegally during the exit leg.
Yeah. Also worrying, Dr. Masiapato, is that we saw women and children being among those who were intercepted. Let's speak to this issue. How does the BMA then balance strict border enforcement with the humanitarian considerations, especially for vulnerable groups here?
Yeah, no, definitely. And remember, our teams on the ground are highly, trained, and they do understand all of the various protocols. And that is why we also partner with the High Commission for Refugees. They've also done training, even in terms of our officials on the ground, and they do know all of those critical protocols. Additional to that, Nhlanhla, maybe let's also add, as we do this work, we also work very closely with the Department of Social Development. So in this particular period, they even send social workers to our various ports to make sure that when we find vulnerable children, in these instances, they are able to intervene and do all of the necessary activities. So what we basically do, even in terms of these interceptions, we basically intercept and the people are handled with the highest level of dignity and respect. It is not an activity that is basically violent. It is an activity that is basically held in an administrative context. And what we basically do, we marshal those individuals out of those bushes or those environments into the port. When they arrive at the port, they are therefore being handled accordingly to the extent that we are able to then effect the deportations that are supposed to take place. And of course, for the facilitators of this illegal migration, we do not deport. As I've indicated, we make sure that we charge them for aiding and abetting according to the Immigration Act.
Right. Before I let you go, Dr. Masiapato, an incident involving an SANDF soldier again highlighted to us the dangers which are faced by personnel. How serious are these security risks on the ground from what you view? And what measures are in place to protect officers themselves during some of these operations?
Yeah, I know indeed. I mean, the work is a very risky work, primarily because it actually happens within the bushes, and of course, the most difficult context, for example. The people that would be, moving illicit goods such as cigarettes, especially on our northern corridor, are highly armed syndicates, and we do, engage with them sometimes together with members of the defense force. So, in terms of the protection of the team, I will say that the members are well trained as law enforcers or law enforcement officers, and they're definitely able to ensure that they observe all of the various protocols, even in instances where there might be some bit of a challenge. Hence, even in this instance where a colleague from the military was, had a confrontation with an individual which is considered to be one of the facilitators, was able to defend himself and still bring the person under control. So the officers are well trained. And by the way, as the officers are also working with the body cams, they are also able to use them for emergency purposes in instances where they need backup to make sure that they're able to, in a way, address or handle an individual who happens to be unruly.